The cost of living and surviving in different countries of our world today varies. While living in some countries is quite affordable and won't shake you, it's not the case in some other places. The level of inflation in some countries has been on the high side in recent years and has driven up the cost of living for both citizens and visitors. In this video, I'll be talking about the 10 most expensive countries to live in the world. These countries are ranked according to their average cost of living, high taxes, wages, food, housing, and transportation costs. You should know that the cost of living in some of these expensive countries also depends on the city or state one decides to reside in. Let's get into the details. Number 10. Japan. Japan is gradually getting famous for its high cost of living. Its capital, Tokyo, is known as one of the world's most expensive cities. One of the main reasons for the high cost of living in Japan is rent. Rent takes up the large share of the cost, followed by car ownership and transport. However, where you choose to live in Japan is a factor in the cost of living. For a single person, the average cost of living in expensive cities like Tokyo or Osaka is around $2,800 per month, including accommodation. However, Japan is known for its extremely stable economy and ultra-modern, innovative conveniences. Medical expenses are rarely an issue for people living in Japan because the country runs a universal public healthcare system that covers everyone who lives there. Number 9. Denmark. Denmark is an expensive country to live in for both locals and foreigners. The price of rent, eating out, getting consumables, and even gasoline is high. However, you don't have to worry too much as the wages are higher in Denmark. Its pay rate covers the expensive cost of living in the country and saving up. Its capital, Copenhagen, is rated to be the best and one of the most expensive cities in the world. Life outside Copenhagen might not be as expensive as staying in the city yet. It is far from cheap. The average monthly cost of living in Denmark for a single individual is around $2,900. Well, you can double that up if you have a family. Be assured if you live as a foreigner in Denmark, you will enjoy a high quality of life. Number 8. Ireland. Ireland, when compared to some European countries, has a high cost of living, even though it's not the most expensive. Ireland's capital, Dublin, is more expensive to live in when compared to Ireland's other cities. Dublin is also often compared to London when it comes to the cost of living. In recent years, due to the immigration of firms and expats, rent in Dublin has been on the rise. However, these expats have well-paying jobs and find it comfortable to live in the country. If you're moving to Ireland for work, you should not find it difficult to live comfortably. The average monthly cost to live comfortably in Ireland for a single individual is around $3,000. Number 7. Norway. Norway is one of the most expensive countries in the northern part of Europe to reside. People who move to Norway for work reasons are said to spend about $3,100 as their average monthly cost of living. The main factor for the country's high cost of living is its high value-added tax rate of about 25%. The tax rate pushes up the price of most goods and services. Although food has a tax rate of 15% and transportation is being subsidized by the government, eating out and even taxi fares are still some of the most expensive services in Norway. However, education and healthcare are subsidized by the government, and people who work in Norway earn lucrative salaries or wages. The government uses these high taxes to provide quality public services for the citizens. Number 6. Singapore. One of the main factors for Singapore's high cost of living is the lack of land and natural resources. Because of this, Singapore is dependent on other countries to supply goods like oil, water, and more. The average monthly cost to live in Singapore for a single person is around $3,200. The other reasons for the high cost of living in Singapore are the lack of accommodation and the country's dependency on foreign labor workers to construct buildings for the growing population. However, Singapore is the best and one of the richest countries in Asia. It's also known as one of the safest places to visit in the world. Number 5. Iceland. Iceland is not only famous for its rugged landscapes and scenery, but it's also famous for being one of the most expensive countries to live in. Surprisingly, Iceland's high cost of living isn't due to rent. What you'll get in Iceland is less than half of what you'll get in New York. Guess what makes the country expensive to live in? Food! Be ready to spend money on food, groceries, and eating out. This is because Iceland has very little fertile ground and is forced to import much of its food. The average cost of living in this country is around $3,300 per month. Number 4. The Bahamas. Known for being the home to the third largest barrier reef on the planet, the Bahamas is also one of the world's most expensive countries to live in. It is said that many famous and wealthy people live in the Bahamas because the country offers several tax incentives and banking options. As expected, rent is high in the Bahamas, and location or the type of house chosen can be a determining factor for the price. Aside from rent, the high tax placed on import goods is another factor for the country's high cost of living. Since there's no income tax, the government makes its money by taxing imported goods, which in return pushes up the prices of everyday goods at a very high rate. The average monthly cost of living in the Bahamas is around $3,400. Number 3. Luxembourg. Luxembourg is not only famous for its high GDP per capita, but it is also famous for its high pay rate in terms of wages and its tax breaks. Although it is known as the 6th smallest country in Europe, the cost of living in this country is not small in any way. The average monthly cost of living in Luxembourg is estimated to be around $3,600. The main factor for the high cost of living in this country is the shortage of houses for the increasing population of the country. Because of this, the rent is very high, and you're likely to get a one-bedroom apartment at a minimum price of $1,600. Number 2. Switzerland. As expected, Switzerland is one of the world's most expensive countries to live in and takes the second position in this. The country is particularly expensive for almost everything, from food, hotels, housing, clothing to restaurants and even health insurance. Everything is pricey. The cost of restaurants and grocery tops the list of the most expensive things in Switzerland. They are outrageously high. However, the pay rate in terms of wages or salaries in Switzerland is very high, and this helps people to maintain the high cost of living. Foreigners who would love to visit Switzerland should know that the strength of the Swiss franc makes the currency more expensive to buy. The average monthly cost of living is around $3,800. Number 1. Monaco. Monaco tops the list of the most expensive countries in the world and is ranked as the second smallest country in the world. When it comes to luxury, Monaco is not small at all. The country is known for the luxurious things that it possesses. Monaco is a very densely populated country that runs its administration on the municipality of Monaco. The main factor in the high cost of living in Monaco is rent. You're likely to get a one-bedroom apartment for a minimum price of $4,000 to $5,000 per month. The average cost of living for a single person, including rent, is about $7,300 per month. Alright, we've come to the end of this video. I hope it helped you with the information you need, and I hope you found it interesting too. And if you do, kindly like this video, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Goodbye.